Hello. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for taking a few moments to download this video presentation and watch it. It contains some important information and some exciting news about the future of the UK hearing care brand. So let's take a look. Back in January 2011, myself and Dan Bernstein had our first meeting with Age UK, and we were talking about their desire to add a hearing correction service into their Affinity Partnership programme. Back at that time, there were only 5 of us in the company, and we'd only been trading for about 3 months. And right back at that first meeting, we discussed a concept that really we've been using ever since, but it's something that we actually need to develop on a little bit more fully now, and that's really the purpose of this video. But the concept that we originally talked about was the use of Age UK hearing aids and the fact that it would be supported by 2 brands. There's the Age UK brand that would support it, and there was the UK Hearing Care brand. So every year since we've gone live with the service with Age UK, we've run a strategic planning approach so that every year we know exactly what it is we're going to try and develop and actually move forwards. And at the beginning of 2016 was no exception. We sat down and discussed what our strategy going forwards for last year was going to be. And there were a few things within there that we decided that we really needed to do. One of them was to finally get ourselves into a head office where we had a little bit more space and facility to help support and drive and grow the business, and we did that. But one of the key things was that we rediscussed this whole concept of Age UK and UK Hearing Care supporting the Age UK hearing aids brand. And what we felt was that we really hadn't driven the UK Hearing Care brand further forwards. Later on in the year, we made the decision to add to the capabilities in our marketing department. Helen joined us in September of last year, but I remember that right at the beginning of it, she did say, "Are you really that wedded to UK Hearing Care as a brand? Can we look at everything?" And I think because we hadn't really developed the UK Hearing Care brand as fully as we could have done, we said absolutely yes, find us a brand that is absolutely fit for purpose. So she joined in September, and pretty much the brand development work started at that point. Now we've actually gone through quite a long and lengthy process to get to the answer of what is a suitable brand and for UK Hearing Care for the business to take us forwards into the future that will really do this job of supporting the Age UK hearing aids work that we do much more fully. So we started the process of working with an external creative agency, but also we've worked with people internally. So I know many of you watching this video will have been involved in parts of the process. We also worked with other stakeholders, so we've talked to manufacturers and suppliers, and of course really importantly we've talked to and discussed what we are as a business, what our values are and what our new brand can be with our customers. So a brand is actually built in many layers, and one of the most important things about a brand is that it has to be genuine. It has to be authentic. You can't just have a name and a strapline and have it not actually match the core values and beliefs of the organisation. If a brand isn't authentic, it really won't actually grow. So we actually embarked on a very, very long process to define exactly what our beliefs and missions and values actually were and what we wanted them to be, and then from that we've built the brand. Now the first part of that process is actually to define what is our core business. We provide clinical, diagnostic, treatment and support audiology services. So especially in the future it's much more than just simply hearing correction. So the next part of the process, once you've defined what your core business is to look at your mission. A mission statement is really defining the why. It's why are you in business? And the thing about developing our mission statement is that it was very easy to come up with the basic format and structure of it, because we simply explained what it was that we were in business to actually do, what our why was. But we've actually taken quite a lot of time and debate over ending up with something which is really quite tight and well-honed and well-defined. So I'd like to share that with you now, and I think you'll recognise it. We enhance people's lives and health by delivering outstanding, personalised hearing care. And I think that's just really simple, and it absolutely encapsulates what we're all about. It's about enhancing people's lives and healths. And how do we do that? We deliver outstanding and personalised hearing care. And I think a mission statement is really powerful when you look at it and think, that's very simple. That obviously describes what you do. And I think we achieved that. But I'd certainly like to thank everybody in the organisation who got us to that point, because although it looks very simple, there was an awful lot of work that went in to getting it to that honed state. And a lot of you have been involved and commenting on exactly what that mission statement should be. The next thing to do is to take that mission, that why, and look at, okay, what is it are we going to do with that? And a vision is really describing the what. We know the core business we're in, we know why we're in business, what is it we're trying to achieve? So let's take a look at the vision statement. Our vision is quite simply to be the recognised leader in hearing care excellence. I think the thing about being recognised for me, certainly we want to be recognised by the public, people with hearing difficulties. You know, I'd like us to be recognised, and I think we are, in lots of cases, by manufacturers and suppliers. But for me, the most important people to recognise that we are the leader in hearing care excellence is actually all of us. It's everybody who works within this organisation. And I think it's really important that our clinical case managers know that when they're talking to a member of public, we are the recognised leader. What we do is truly excellent. And of course, it's really important for our clinical staff, for our audiologists, that you also recognise that you're part of being the recognised leader in hearing care excellence. So once the vision's in place, the next job is actually to define the values. I think the first one, evidence-based, every single one of our clinical staff will absolutely recognise. But evidence-based doesn't just mean our audiology services. It also means that we look at evidence in terms of business process design, marketing programs. Everything we do is based on evidence and some solid thinking. The next one, excellence. Well, it appears in our mission and vision, so absolutely it's no surprise that excellence, or quality if you like, is absolutely in there. Quality and working in a more qualitative mode rather than quantitative mode is something we've been talking about and doing now for quite some time. So the next value is forward thinking. And what forward thinking means to me is that we don't just live in the moment. Yes, we're mindful, but we're thinking about the future. I think for me, building our very first hearing centre was forward thinking. There's a lot more work to do with our Centre of Excellence, but I think it's absolutely on the right path. And certainly customers and patients that have visited it absolutely love it. The feedback we're getting is extremely strong. So the next one is ethical. But ethics is not just about the business decisions we make and the way we treat people and work with our suppliers and the way we think of things. It's of course very much about how we deal with patients and customers. For us, it's much more important to get the fitting right for the patient, and the business considerations should be somewhat secondary. We'll always do the right thing, and I think that's what ethical really means. People-centred. Well, I think we are a very people-centred organisation, and taking care of not only our customers, but of course our colleagues, and being focused on teamwork, very, very important. Finally, selfless. In terms of the commercial aspect, sales are a natural consequence of doing a great job. And for me, that's what selfless really means. It means if we just focus on doing the job to a highly excellent standard, that all the commercial measures that we might use to describe how successful we're being will just naturally happen. So selfless for me is a very important value. But the most important thing about the values in this organisation is, what do they mean to you? And the way to build a successful organisation and business, from my perspective, is to define a great set of values and then work with people who share those values. But everybody can have their own view and their own take on what they actually mean to them. So we have, therefore, an entire top-to-bottom process. Our core business, we provide clinical, diagnostic, treatment and support audiology services. It's more than just hearing correction. Our mission, we enhance people's lives and health by delivering outstanding personalised hearing care. And what are we going to do with that? Our vision, to be the recognised leader in hearing care excellence. And we bring to that mission and vision these values. We're evidence-based, we believe in excellence, we're forward-thinking, we're ethical, people-centred and selfless. So once all that was completed, the next job was to actually say, what should that brand be? Can we apply those values to UK hearing care? Do we need a new name? Does it need to look different? And we actually tested UK hearing care, both internally and externally with our customers, against a range of other choices. And it turned out that there was a different choice. And just in the last few weeks, the board has signed off on our new brand. And so I'd like to introduce you now to the new name for UK hearing care, which is Claritas. The first thing is that Claritas is actually Latin for clarity, and that very much seems to suit us and our business. Not only the fact that we obviously provide clarity to people with hearing difficulties, but I think we strive for clarity in the way we organise and run our business, and also we strive for clarity in terms of the way we attempt to educate a person with hearing difficulty. It's part of our core 4 steps to better hearing, and for me, I think it very much actually fits. And so it's important that there is a descriptor on there as well. So Claritas, your hearing experts. And of course we want to be recognised as the leader in providing hearing healthcare excellence. So of course your hearing experts very much fits in with that as well. So the final element is the hummingbird. And you might ask, why a hummingbird? The first thing is that hummingbirds are incredibly agile. So they're always darting about, they're able to respond quickly to changing situations, and I think that's very much a core belief and something that I try and instill in our business. The ability to make fast decisions in our forward-thinking mode, to look at what's coming and then adapt and change what we're doing to suit that. I think something else that we bring to the business is energy, and certainly, you know, the hummingbird for me talks about energy, but I think it certainly fits extremely well with the Claritas name. So, our new brand.